All
Yes,
right, if you
sure.
could just,
Okay.
you got it.
Yeah.
All right, tell me your name and where you're from.
So my name is Amanda Gondik, and I am from the northern Twin Cities of Minnesota.
Beautiful. And why did you join the Slay Squad originally? What were you struggling with?
All things. I really was actually I was recommended by my chiropractor because I was struggling so much with just my body feeling just like it's overwhelmed all the time. It was hard to move. The more weight that I just kept on from having babies, the harder it was on my joints. And so she was working with a Slay Squad coach at the time. And she's like, I really think you should check her out. And so I joined one of your guys's, I think it was actually the Shred from last year, one of the programs, and then I met with Kayla afterwards, and it was just a really good fit. But the biggest deal was that I wasn't taking care of myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're a mom as well, correct?
Yeah, so I am a mom to two boys, one of them who is autistic. And so that comes with a lot of challenges. I myself is neurodiverse, so kind of trying to mix both of those things at the same time. And then I'm also a full-time caretaker for my dad, who's in assisted living up the road as well. So kind of being pulled in two directions at the same time.
And you work full time.
And I work full time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose I should
What
throw that
else
in
could
there
you
too.
do?
Yeah, I work full time for a financial institution that I've been working with now for 19 years. So I love my job and I love what I do. I love the flexibility that it has, but it also comes with its challenges. You still got to be there. You still got to show up. You still got to be there for your clients. And I was not looking my best self. Like I had my boss approach me and go, "You're struggling. What's going on?" So
Oh,
I knew
wow.
a change needed to happen. Yep. She had known me
Hmm.
for a really long time, so she knew. She's like, "Something's not right. Like you had postpartum. That
Yeah.
was understandable. Your child's now 9 years old. What is going on?" Well, perimenopause was hitting me. And
Hmm.
so all the fun stuff that came along with that, I was also seeing a functional medicine doctor at the same time who was also trying to help me kind of get my health under control, and nothing was working. So I had to do something. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, you sound like you have like literally every challenge kind of coming at you at
Yeah.
once.
I had lots of health stuff, lots of mom stuff. I was trying to be the best wife I could and not able to do that. And taking care of my dad, trying to be like the family person that I was. And my kids have a whole ton of allergies. So I was also making everything from scratch, 24/7. So a lot of time gets spent in my kitchen. So it was one of those things like, okay, I'm doing this for my kids. Now I need to do it for myself as well.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. And I mean, something so many women that we talk to say, like, is, they have a million struggles or
Yeah.
time is an issue and they're taking care of everyone else and they feel like no one else has what
Dealing
they
with that.
have and
Yes.
is still successful,
Yeah.
on their journey. So that's why I love that you share those real
Yeah.
challenges.
It really becomes a part of where does the priorities lie, and also having the accountability. For me as a neurodivergent person, I wasn't able to do it by myself. I am a huge person that likes to body double. I didn't have anybody in my corner that wanted to help me with my health concerns that was like here and immediate. Like I had my doctors and I had,
Hmm.
girlfriends, but they've all got their own families too. And so it was like I needed somebody to hold me accountable. I needed somebody that was going to tell me, hey, it's okay to spend time on you. It's okay to let somebody else take care of your kid. They're going to be okay. Like just
Yeah.
kind of walking through a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. And so glad you did join. What did you accomplish in the program and what was your experience like?
Yeah, so I would have to say my biggest accomplishment is correcting my heart issue. So when I started this, I was waking up in the dead middle of night with 164 heart rate. I had no bad dreams. There was no reason for it, but I would wake up with just my heart was racing, just an incredible amount. And then I ended up getting an Aura ring and I was like, oh my gosh, my heart rate is all over the place all the time. So through like exercise and nutrition, that was the biggest deal, was that my heart
Yeah.
rate got under control. The second thing was is that I corrected my diastasis. Um,
Hmm.
I was huge into that because I also have an umbilical hernia from my pregnancies because I had very big boys. And that's another thing is like people think, oh, I just had big kids. I'm going to forever be like this. No,
Right.
that's not. I told myself that too, but so
Yes.
it's one of those lies that you tell yourself like, oh, I had big kids, and so this is just the way my body is going to be, and that's not the case. And I feel like it's a
Yeah.
lot in social media right now too, where, yep, being big and curvy and nothing against that. That's where, that's where bodies are after pregnancy. That's okay if that's where you want to be, but my body was hurting. So I didn't
Yeah.
want to be hurting. And so those were the biggest things. Like outside of weight, I'm coming up here. I think I've lost like 34-ish, 35-ish pounds total.
Yeah, that's
But
amazing.
yeah, I've gained a lot of more self-confidence. I honestly, the biggest thing that I gained was the ability to create boundaries with people outside, outside of my nuclear family because I was spreading myself too thin. So it was a combination of, yes, I tackled a lot of health problems. Yes, I tackled the, losing weight, gaining a ton of muscle, being able to keep up with my kids. But more for me, and what I'm more proud of is the mental struggle that happened through like creating boundaries and having that accountability and having somebody there to help me walk through, the days, because I struggle hardcore with binge eating. And I still do. It's a year down the road, but this March was kind of the turning point for me where things really started to improve on my binge eating, because binge eating for me was a comfort based upon some
Hmm.
trauma I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So the journey isn't over. It's still
Yeah.
going. It's still being fixed. Um, but the accomplishments in just 1 year, I would have never thought that that would happen that quickly.
That's amazing. And I love that you're just so real about like the time that it's taken you and
Yeah,
the mental struggles along the way because everyone I think wants an easy answer and it's like you have to be willing to put in the work and like really like
yes,
want this for yourself. And if you can do that and trust, trust a coach for a period of time, really lock in like it's not just about the weight loss, like your
yeah.
whole world really changes when you are taken care of.
And I think that's one of the things that I didn't think was going to have to happen. Like in the beginning, I was like, nope, I don't need to look at this. I can just blow past this. I can put that trauma in a box and just keep on moving forward. And I couldn't. After lots of voice messages with Kayla and just talking with my own therapist and talking with friends and things, you really kind of have to stare it in the face and go, okay, I can't let this control me anymore.
Yeah.
And when I did some of that, for some of the things that I had, I literally watched the weight just drop off. And I have a feeling, actually, I know it's due to those high cortisol levels, right? The stress. And so stress was a huge problem for me. It still is a huge problem because I'm a busy mom and working, but it's a constant work in progress, something that I'm still working on, giving myself grace with, but I think it's a reality for all women out there that stress is something we definitely have to work on getting better.
Yeah, and I like to tell people too, it's like learning how to manage and navigate stress, not
Yeah.
eliminate it. We have to learn to deal with it because we'll
Yeah.
never like eliminate it.
No, it's forever going to be there. Like,
Yes.
and it comes up at the weirdest times too. Like even though you've dealt with your trauma, sometimes it just pops up, or like grief pops up, or hey, your
Hmm.
kid has a complete meltdown out of the blue. It just comes, and yeah, you just learn how to deal with it and not binge afterwards.
Hmm. Yes. It's a lot more layered for a lot of women than
Yes.
just, okay, follow this plan, eat this much, because
Yeah.
our reasons for eating, like you kind of hit on it, so many people eat to numb, distract from pain,
Yes.
whatever it may be. And then when you take that away, that coping mechanism, then you are forced to kind of work
Yep.
through and deal with whatever that was covering up.
Yep. 100%.
Yes. So what did you like about the program? How did it help you navigate those things?
So being that I'm a neurodivergent person, I chase dopamine like it's my, second best thing to do in life. I love the nutrition where it gives you a gold star at the end of the day. So
I
I
like
was constantly
that.
chasing gold stars every day. And nutrition was not like super hard for me because I make all the meals for my kids and I had to track a lot of that stuff for my boys, to start with, for like doctors and things. So it wasn't as big of a struggle, but I had convinced myself that I had to restrict all these foods, that I had to be eating salads, that I couldn't eat this and I couldn't eat that. And through like doing the tracking, trying to get that gold star, I figured out I can eat as much pasta as I want. I just have to be able to make it work within the program of what my calories and my proteins were that day. So I was really excited when I found out I could actually eat whatever I want. I was still eating pizza. I was still eating pasta. I've all but given up salads because if I don't eat another salad for the rest of my life, I think I'll be okay. I love it. I'm just more of a like peppers and other vegetables.
Yeah.
Lettuce can take a hike as far as I'm concerned. I've done too many crash diets where it's like eat lettuce for days on end,
Yeah.
and then you're like, I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
So on occasion, it's nice in the summertime, but otherwise, it's no
Yeah.
longer my go-to, and that's really nice. But I also like that I did not have to think about what was going to be appropriate for my diastasis.
Yeah.
I had completely given up on working out. I couldn't lift without my hernia hurting. I couldn't lift without my abs hurting for days on end. I couldn't get adjusted at the chiropractor, and then I'd have to be going back the next day if I lifted. So I had all but quit because I thought I have to have surgery. I can't lift anything. I can't do anything to help gain strength back because I'm just going to hurt myself further because I had been
Hmm.
hurting myself based on, YouTube videos and whatnot. So Kayla really helped me work through a lot of the core exercises to help bring that diastasis back together a little bit. And it was gradual. I did
Hmm.
not like it at first. It was like, this doesn't feel like anything's happening, but I stuck to it on the encouragement of
Yeah, they're
Kayla.
slow and
So
painful. I can relate to that. It
they
doesn't feel
are
like it's doing anything. And then
right.
your stomach goes in and you're like, oh.
Yeah. It's months, really. I thought
Yes.
I'd see something in a couple, and no, it was months.
Yeah.
So I think that was for me one of the bigger things that I did not have to worry about. And for me, because I'm a huge type A personality, I research everything. I didn't have to do the research that went along with the exercises because I already knew that you guys knew how to handle postpartum moms. So it
Hmm.
was a huge weight off my shoulders to be able to just, okay, I'm going on the app, I'm doing a workout today, and I don't need to worry about whether this is healthy for me or not. I'm just going to do it because you
Yeah.
guys have my back on that. So it was really, it was nice, but most of all, I think the part that I enjoyed about the program is having that accountability person. Like on my
Yeah.
down days, I could make a voice note and I'd get a ton of encouragement from Kayla just to not give up. This is the longest I've ever done any kind of weight loss or program of any kind.
Yeah.
Just being a neurodiverse person, I don't stick with things for very long if they don't. It's immediate, instant gratification, right?
Yes.
I, I'm all about it, but
Yes,
it
we
was
all
not
are.
that
We
way.
all love
Yeah.
it. Hmm.
So that was the biggest thing was is I was able to get gold stars, track the nutrition pretty easily. I was able to just, one stop shop for a way to get in a workout. And then I constantly had, ability to get a hold of somebody even at night when it was like that's the struggle. So
Yes. Awesome. So one more question for you, before we wrap up, just because you have been through like a lot, you have a lot on your plate. Every time I hear everything that you navigate, I'm like superwoman over here. You have every excuse really to not have
yes.
time to do this. What
Yeah.
advice would you give to a woman that maybe is in your shoes where you were a year ago that feels like I have to take care of these kids? Maybe you have someone with challenges in your life you're caring
Yeah.
for, you work like it feels impossible, what advice, what would you tell them? Just a piece of encouragement.
Yeah, so two things. For the ones that have kiddos, especially the ones that maybe have kiddos that have extra challenges or that need help, involve your kids, talk to your kids. They will understand. And in my case, my kids wanted to join in. I have done more family walks now. We are more active as an entire family. And I didn't think that was going to happen. And there's some days where it doesn't.
Yeah.
And just giving yourself grace in that. Like your kids know, like, okay, mom's going to go for a walk. Do you want to come with? No, you don't. Okay, well, mom, you still got to go do it. Like
Hmm.
the kids are going to be okay. They're going to play in the yard. You're going to go for your walk. And it's involve the kids and don't try to do it without your family because then the kids get too isolated and they want to be with you. They want to be doing things. The other thing is boundaries. Like if you're struggling because you're taking care of children and you're taking care of parents, caregiver burnout is a
Yes.
very real, very traumatizing thing.
Hmm.
And it doesn't seem real when you're going through it. Because I told Kayla that I'm like, because she said it to me on our first call. She's like, "Girl, you have caretaker burnout." And I was like, "No, I don't. Yes, it's a
Hmm.
lot, but I'm fine." And she's like, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
But it is a very real thing. And I had to put some boundaries in place. I had to make some really tough calls, and they hurt in the beginning, but the people are still there. They're going to
Hmm.
love you. And just explaining the situation to them, like, I can't continue to caretake for you and help you with things if I don't start to take care of myself, or you're not going to
Yes.
have me.
Right.
Coming to the realization that your health really does need to come first instead of taking a back seat. That's what I was doing. I was putting my health on the back burner because everybody else's health mattered way more than mine.
Yeah.
And so I really struggled to change that thought process. I wish I would have done it faster,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
But you
So
did it now, and that's all that
I
matters.
did it now, a couple months down the road, but I did it now. So that's
Hmm.
my two pieces. Like, involve your kids and set up those boundaries, because that's the only way to tell yourself, like, okay, now I've created this time. The boundaries create that time for you to do those things. And it may only look like 10 minutes a day. I needed that 10 minutes. I didn't have
Yeah.
any time in the day. There was complete burnout by the time your kids went to bed. You were burnt out. So I had to
Hmm.
create the balance in there. I knew I'm not a morning person. And I know there's some gals that start and they're like, I can't get up that early. I'm a year down the road. I still don't get up that early. I want to, but I
Yeah.
don't, because I'm a night owl. So a lot of my stuffs get done at night after my kids go to bed, because my kids now go to bed better because they're like, hey,
Yeah.
mom needs to go do her thing. So those are my two pieces: set up the boundaries and involve your kids.
Yeah. Such good advice. You really can't like continue to pour out from an
Yeah.
empty cup forever. And just it's so cool to see like as you are doing better, you're now like what a great influence you are on your family and your kids for healthy living, taking care of themselves so you don't
Yeah.
pass on those
Correct.
patterns to them.
Yeah. There's a
So
lot
amazing.
to be researched about that, like the generational, like, passing on of things.
Yes.
And that is 100% my family. Both of my parents were obese. My parents were obese. My great grandparents were all obese. So I physically have to make a stop to that. All of me and my
Yeah.
siblings are making an active decision to take care of our health better, be more active, do more movement, so that we don't get caught in this trap of, I gained 100 pounds and now I can't get it back. Like, I can't
Yeah.
come back from it. When I was done with my boys, my so my second boy was over 10 and a half pounds when he was born. I had gained over 60 pounds. Like, I was
Hmm.
a big girl and I was sore. I was
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
sore. But I refused to believe that that's the way that it had to be, because I
Yes.
watched my mom go through it and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna.
Yep.
And so it doesn't have to be the same as what your parents had. And I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of that going on right now, of
Yes.
just trying to improve that next generation. And so we're trying to do that for our kids as well, and just trying to create more sustainability
Yeah.
in working out, and seeing that it's not like, oh, I have to go to the gym every single day. I don't go to the gym at all. I don't own a gym membership. I bought a couple
Yeah.
barbells, or not
Yep.
barbells, dumbbells.
Yep. It
And
works.
I, I had a treadmill, and that
Yep.
was it.
Yeah. I
So it's
love
not a
that.
huge, it's not a huge investment when it comes to, I thought it would be like, I don't want to
Yeah.
buy a gym membership and have to pay for it every single month. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I didn't believe that in the beginning, but now I do.
Yeah. For sure. You just have to have an attitude that says you're not going to accept feeling like that forever.
Yep.
Yes, you
And
won't
not, and
accept.
just questioning the narrative, right? Because
Yeah.
there's so much of that out there between social media and doctors. There's so much of people telling us, oh, this is just the way it is. Oh, it's just your hormones. That's just the way it's going to
Yeah,
be.
your
I cannot tell
genetics
you.
and it's like,
Yeah. I cannot tell you how many times I was
yeah.
told that. It's like,
Hmm.
no,
Yeah,
no,
this is
thank
just
you.
post-menopause. This is just,
Yeah.
after kids. And I'm like, no, no. You don't have to
Yes.
accept
And I
that.
believed it. When I met Kayla, I
Hmm.
believed that. Like,
Yeah.
because I had been told it so many times. Like, I truly believed it.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you didn't accept that.
Me as well. I am very
And
thankful for all the people God put in my life to be able to make sure I did not succumb to that.
yes. Yes. So happy for you. And what, last question, would you recommend the Slay Squad to your friends and family?
Yep, I already do. Most days I talk to at least one person about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your
Yeah.
advice. All right.